Hey, c'est Samuel G. This is the hobo, and I'm going hobo again because there's been a great discussion. There's been great discussion about. Sorry about this. There's been great discussion about villains recently, and everybody loves villains, and villains are a great tool for great stories and everything. But the thing is that it got me thinking. It's like, check this out. One thing I've noticed is that, like, there's been like what, Gentleman Gamer. I think I'm not sure. I think Mephisto got on it. I know Room Slinger got on it, and honestly, like, it's some of my favorite videos. When you talk about villains, when you talk about stuff like that, where it's just great idea. You go there, you listen to a 20-minute video from Gentleman Gamer with lots of good stuff in it, but got me thinking that the problem with villains is that you fall into a commitment. You commit when you bring an arch villain to a game. When you bring like a villain, because most people, when they talk about villain, they really talk about an arch villain, like a nemesis, or this big villain that is coming back into the game, recurrent. It's coming back again. And the PCs, the players, they start to love it. They start to love the guy. They hate or they love the guy, because it's. But what it comes down to this: at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's a villain or just a good character. And here's what I want to talk about. It's the fact that when you bring a villain to a story, you bring back the Manichaean way of good versus evil, black versus white, insanity versus sanity, true versus false. And those dichotomy, like, you just split the pie in two. It's been going on in our culture for a very long time. Like, religion does it, video games does it, literature does it, people playing RPG does it, Hollywood does it, TV shows does it. And there's nothing wrong with good versus evil. It's like, don't try to fix something's not broken. It's not broken. I mean, people love it. Makes for easy stories, like a child can understand the problems going on. It's like super easy, can be super fun, and those villains are great, and we love to hate them. It's culture. It's like it's really easy to understand, and it's quite good. It works, But what if you're tired of this? What if you're striving for something more? And I want to discuss the possibility of, instead of bringing great villains, we can try to bring great conflict. And this makes a huge difference in your games, because when you the only thing with villains is the logical commitment that comes with it. And I mean logical in the sense of language. It's language-based phenomenon. You bring something bad. You just brought something wrong into your lexicon, your semantic field. You know, you're there, you play the game, everybody has fun, you have a world, you have a culture going on, you have politics going on, and suddenly you have an axe of evil. Split the pie in two, this is good, this is bad, and that's it. Because that's what it creates. When you bring such a villain in your game, it creates that effect. And some people need that effect. Proof is Hollywood and TV shows and religion, you know. Don't you know, one of the reason why, you know, some people hate Hollywood and they don't watch Hollywood movies is because they're just tired of this bullshit. I'm not saying it's bullshit, I'm just saying that it's the same story over again all the time. You know, so they go into some independent cinema and then they see movies where there's no villain, it's just people and problems. And what I'm saying is, and what I'm trying to say is that when you play your RPG, I think it's like a fundamental choice at a certain point where, okay, am I playing the black or white game? Am I playing the good versus evil game? Or I'm playing something different? Because the player are gonna look for it, they will need it, they will strive for it. And if you don't bring it to the game, they might not enjoy your game. Because they need someone guilty, they need someone evil, they need something to refer to as wrong, bad, and everything. It makes everything more clearer. So give me a sec. So what now what I'm going to try to do is explain what I was thinking and what I do sometimes in the games I play. I like to bring good conflict, good problems instead of good villains. Just because I don't want to put a face on evil. I don't want to put a face on wrong and, you know, immoral and stuff like that. I just want I want to bring ethical questions. When you have a great villain, there's no question. There's no ethical problematics and moral issues and stuff like that, because it's quite simple. Of course there's going to be. I'm not saying that there's not going to be. There's going to be. But they're going to be so easy. It's a no-brainer. You don't even have to listen. You don't even have to ask yourself too much question. Of course, you can have that GM that goes with a twist, you know, and present someone as good, but he was the best friend of the villain. Oh, the villain again. You know, it's always the same thing. Even if you twist up the thing, like when you play Shadowrun and you backstab your friend to eternity. You know, like it's always gonna be the villain. So at the end of the day, or if it's not the villain, you strive for the villain, and then you realize that there's one even more villains. You're like, whoa, just like in the Heroes TV show, like Gentleman Gamer talked about. And this, you know, there's not a trick you're gonna do that has not have been done before. The thing with great conflict is that you can have great characters, you know, because sometimes people see villains, great villains, as those big, bad, super freaky character personalities, and you need one in your game, you know, to give some colors. But if you're good at creating characters, you're just gonna create bunch of great characters, and you're gonna create great conflict with them. So then you blur the line. It's all about blurring that line between good and evil. And why you want to do this is simply because you want to surprise the characters, the players. You want to surprise the story, the narration. You don't want to. Also because you want to tell another story. You know, you want to tell another story. You want to you want to discuss something else. You don't want to talk about the Bible again. You don't want to replay. You don't want to replay any Hollywood flick. Neither. Maybe you want to do. Maybe that's what you're trying to do, and it's good sometimes. There's nothing wrong. It's not wrong. It's just it striked me because I've used villains in the past. I see what it does. I think it's quite okay. I think it's quite good. But at the same time, if I want to do something else, the only way you're gonna get out of that good versus evil scheme, not scheme but structure, narrative structure, and metaphysics, you need to not bring the villain in. So therefore, the player might be the villain, and they don't even know yet. That's quite important. You when you have great conflict, you have all kinds of perspective on issues and problematics. So therefore, people who are going to play the game, we are born in a good versus evil world culture, so we see the world that way. It's really hard to get out of that cultural lenses we have. It's our understanding is like that. So we're gonna search for villains. The players are gonna look for it. They're gonna and if you don't bring any villain, they might even create one themselves. The thing that is cool with great conflicts is that they can get frustrated with an event. They can antagonize an event. They can antagonize a situation. They can antagonize a different character. So you have a party of 5, 4, and then one guy doesn't like this one of the guy doesn't agree, he thinks he's the good guy, and then you create those kind of issues. And like I said, you can flip the thing up, and then after a while, just by the way they make their decisions, just by the way they choose, the player ends up being hated, being unpopular by the world they are in, because they the one creating problems. They the one antagonizing everything. So yes, it's that's what stroked me by listening to the Gentleman's Gamer video recently, and I got back to the other ones, and I'm like, you see, that's the thing with villains. When you bring a good villain into a game, you split the pie in two, and then everything gets simple. Everything get recognizable, comfortable like old shoes, but you're gonna end up playing the same story, which is the one that you grew up with. So it's just a food for thought. Tell me what you guys think. I'd like to know what's your perspective on that, and how do you do your conflicts, your story arcs in your games. And yeah, thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.